Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Here's a little Facebook Live update. I've got Zach Gilday with me.
Back at
So
it.
excited to have you back. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
great being back.
You were not off. You were working
Oh,
really
yeah.
hard. You were just on in the mornings. But
Yeah.
Josh had his vacation last week.
Yep.
And so I haven't worked with Zach in a long time.
It was tough
so
changing shifts, the sleep scheduling.
I can imagine.
tell you, I
yeah.
went to bed Sunday night, did not even sleep 1 second.
You didn't?
Nope.
Well, you couldn't because you had to wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Circadian rhythm.
Yeah. Everything, it throws everything off. Imagine all those people that do shift work, like at the weather service, So, all right, we'll go through kind of our little deal. So, the severe weather potential is there for tomorrow, but the question is will that potential be realized for our area at least?
Yeah, and the models will keep backing off.
They do.
Storm chances. But is it going to be a pump fake?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
So for those that are watching, what does pump fake mean?
It means the models are showing one thing one day, and then they back off on the storm chances.
Yeah.
And then pretty much nothing. And that's what we're seeing.
And then the question is that really a pump fake? Meaning, the plan was to shoot the ball the whole time, right? Do you pump fake and then shoot it, or do you pump fake and then dribble some more? Yeah. Well, basketball season's not over. I mean, it's over for the Razorbacks, but we still have the Final Four this Saturday.
Coming up.
So the question is this a pump fake? Are there still going to be storms tomorrow? I'm starting to lean no. I mean, I really am.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to
for
bet,
our area,
if I had to bet, I would say maybe in our eastern counties.
Yeah, in our eastern counties.
For Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Not really.
So Cody's saying no sound, and I don't know if that's our problem. I don't think it is. I think that I might need to turn the volume up on your device because a lot of other people are saying they can hear. But let's take a look at what's happening. So first of all, there is no difference to the risk. Definitely, we're covering up the most important part of it. That's the level 4 out of northeast Oklahoma or northeast Arkansas, western Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, northern Mississippi. That is, folks, a moderate risk. But the thing is that moderate risk is way east of us. So the storms are going to be more organized as they make their way through our area. I'm not exactly sold how much storm activity we really truly see tomorrow. And originally we had 90% for the chance of storms. Now, one thing kind of makes me go, oh, are we backing off a little too fast with the storms tomorrow? Well, here's what's happening now. A lot of rain. But for those that were watching, northeast Arkansas, Cody, you need to watch it. It is real deal potential with some supercells, some fast-moving supercells as well. So you got to be careful. But check out Mega Doppler. A lot of rain out there and some lightning and some thunderstorm activity. And guess what? The models didn't have much of this at all yesterday. I know because I was working. But if you watch my Facebook Live, we mentioned that piece of energy that was in west of Baja that was moving this way, that here it is. That's that little wave of energy. So all these little short waves can cause some issues. Let's see if we can catch any lightning because there is quite a bit of it off to our southwest. This is from our WeatherBug Network camera in Lincoln. Maybe a little bit of a flash there. We'll look at Mount Sequoia and see if we can see anything. Look at the low-level winds. You can see those winds cranking up. And, the system is strong. So it's like, are we going to let down our guard completely? I'm not exactly sure about that because there could be storms tomorrow. And if they do, they won't take much to become severe because of this energy moving in. So anyways, here's a look at the rain chances. And this is kind of a look at the timeline. We will be warming tomorrow. There's actually like 3 parts of the storm tomorrow. Okay, the storm chances for thunderstorms and severe weather. That's questionable. The wind.
That's not
questionable.
No, that's going to be a big issue.
The wind is going to be a big issue tomorrow. And now we're not talking about thunderstorm winds. We're talking about non-thunderstorm winds. I mean, as you can see, 4 o'clock, we're talking gusts up to 50 miles an hour. And maybe even 60 miles an hour in southwest Missouri.
Approaching severe storm.
They have high wind warnings. There's the 2-day precipitation forecast. We can't drop down the rain completely and remove it entirely. So let's look at some of the latest models. Well, here's the rapid refresh, doing a better job now on the storm potential. By the way, he says right here, let's see, where was that? Oh, I watched. Tay said I watched, and you called it. So that's good. I appreciate that. But there's a look at this model isn't producing any precip. I mean, very little. Now look at around noon, it starts to move in. And one of the things you'll notice too is I'm going to back up. And Zach, I was talking to you about this just before we did this Facebook Live. Look at the winds.
Oh yeah.
They're out of the south. But what happens to those winds?
They turn southwesterly.
Yeah. So when they turn southwesterly ahead of the front and ahead of the dry line, what that does is that limits convergence. See, when air collides into each other, that forces it up, and that's what gets your thunderstorm development. So if we have winds doing this, you're having a collision of the air. But if we take those winds and we shift them to the southwest, on that camera at least, now you're having less convergence.
Yeah.
So the winds were originally out of the south. They were colliding into each other. You had a south wind and a west wind. Now, as we take that wind and we push it to the southwest, now you're getting this way. Now you've got a lack of collision of the air. And that's what's happening. When we go back to these models, you're going to see that southwest wind. Now, the winds are still going to be out of the south and north central and northeast Arkansas. But around here, we get the shift of the winds. Then we get the dry line to come through, and then the winds really crank up. So I'm not exactly sold that we get a whole lot of thunderstorm development tomorrow.
Because once they turn southwest, less convergence, less rising motion,
Yeah.
less storms.
And that's right. And, the ingredients are going to be in place briefly for us. Briefly. I'm trying to move my mouse here so we'll load up a different model. If you want to know about storm timing, if it really truly does happen, this is our storm timing, okay? So we've got 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for our far western counties. And I think this is still a pretty good idea on the timing. The central part of our weather coverage area, kind of 10 a.m. to noon, like a 2-hour window. So it will be potentially in the late morning into the early afternoon. Now, the blue, dark blue shaded area, if there's one place that I think there will be storms, I think it's going to be from noon to 2 p.m.
Yep. The far eastern counties, dark blue.
So here's what someone says. Let's go Friday night baseball at Kessler Park in Fayetteville. I think you're fine there.
Oh, yeah.
The only problem is the wind. The dirt's going to be, even though it's going to be dry, it's still going to be getting kicked up. I mean, I think dirt will be wet, obviously, with all the rain. It's still going to get kicked up. There could be some trees that come down, honestly, because of this wind. So someone said we canceled our camping trip tomorrow night. Well, I hope you didn't cancel for storms, because there's really not going to be a lot of storms tomorrow night. They're going to be gone. I don't know where you're camping at, but if you're camping around here, there's really not going to be a whole lot of storms.
Yeah, and the wind should be dying down as we go throughout the night.
Later on night.
Yeah,
later on tomorrow night. Yeah. Let's look and see what the HRRR does on the long range here. And we'll look at also the Texas Tech WRF has a lack of storms as well. So, you know what? I'm gonna zoom out, because someone Cody had a good question. I heard they were going to go high risk in Northeast Arkansas. There's the potential to go high risk. The only thing I'm concerned about is storm mode. There's just a lot of uncertainty as to the amount of coverage of storms and the storm mode. Like, typically high risk is reserved for isolated supercells that are, or should we say scattered supercells, not just isolated, but scattered. What do you think about that? You think they'll go high risk?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a squall line.
Yeah, it's going to be a squall line.
Eventually, it will turn into one.
Yeah. That'll be something to watch for sure. But here's a wide view. So this will give you an idea of what's happening. And we'll zoom out too on the wider view. So look at this. There's the energy swinging through, and that has a little bit more activity. Now we're going to zoom in on that. We're going to see. Yeah, look. So this is the most recent update. So maybe a pump fake. But notice how they still don't really develop until they're right over our area. I got to remove these scene cameras so we can adjust this. All right, let's go back here and look. Now remember, this energy, it's pretty strong. So, the fact that it's not showing any storms is concerning, because it could be way off. But here you look at 8 to 10 o'clock, which is what our window was, right? And then 10 a.m. to noon. I think we're right on the money here. Yeah. Maybe a little earlier in eastern counties, but there you see an Awachi storms just blow up. Well, they don't really blow up until they're east of us. It's going to be really, really close. High risk could be farther north. I really do think the high risk is going to be in Iowa and Illinois. I mean, look at this energy coming in. Those are already supercells, and that's kind of a lot of supercells. Now, we can also look at, I'm going to make sure I don't save that. Heard some rumbles of thunder outside. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go to scene camera here, upload camera view, and do regional close. I'm just going to save it like that so we don't lose that.
That wasn't to you.
What was that?
I was trying to bang this cork board that I bang it really hard so it sticks to the wall.
Oh, I got you. I thought it was thunder.
Oh, no. I did it, and then I go, oh, I hope Dan didn't think that was me telling him to be quiet.
We'll be quiet, Alyssa. No,
You're
no.
fine. You're fine.
Hey, what do you think about baseball tomorrow? It's going to be crazy winds at about 30 to 40 miles an hour when they first pitch.
Terrifying.
And it's going to be out of the west. So Alyssa is who are they playing tomorrow?
Alabama.
Okay, that's a big series.
Yeah, Alabama in town, 6:30.
So 6:30 first pitch,
Yeah.
probably 30 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour winds.
Yeah.
So if there's a pop up in left field, it'll be a home run.
Oh, wow.
That's how crazy
All right.
it's going to be.
All right. So I want some holes down the left field
Yes, they will go. I mean, if Wagner gets a hold of one, it's going to go across Razorback Road.
line. Okay.
It's
okay.
gonna be
What
unbelievable.
about my kid's soccer game on Saturday?
The soccer game's fine on Saturday. It'll be
Okay, great,
cool.
Perfect.
It'll be cool.
Perfect.
The field's
Love
going
a
to be
little
soggy,
Love
but it won't be bad.
Perfect.
Hey, someone said Alyssa the Goat Orange,
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks. Hi,
the
guys.
greatest of all time. That's
Just
right.
dropping in to say howdy.
Very cool. Go bang on that corkboard.
All right. Go Dodgers. Bye.
She's got her Dodgers blue on. All right, let's get back to this, and I'll show you what we're looking at for the long range. So this is the longer range HRRR, and let's see what this does for storms. So there's a look at the energy coming through. That was the short wave. Then you could see additional storms. It just really doesn't pop up much. There you've got, look at that, kind of scattered supercells all around. That's going to be something else.
That's bad news.
So Cody, if you're in Northeast Arkansas, that's trouble. That is trouble. I know Ryan Vaughn is gearing up for some big time severe weather coverage. Look at those storms right there. So why don't they happen here? Well, because the front's pushing through and the timing. It's just all about timing. See, that low is already north of us instead of northwest of us. So we already got the frontal passage that's happening late morning. And because of the low strengthening, that's why the winds are veering. You were wondering why the winds are veering. It's all about the position of the surface low. So that just, I don't think that that's going to happen. Someone's saying they're getting good lightning and thunder in Bentonville. Let's check it out. So look at our Fulbright Weather Bug Network. Ooh, nice rain coming down. So in the meantime, let's look at another model. Let's look at the graph. This is the 3-kilometer graph. Yeah, I think Northeast Arkansas is going to be interesting for sure. Let's see if this shows anything. So we're starting to get to the point where these high resolution models are just now starting to analyze the data. You know, another thing that's concerning too with the models is that they're not showing a lot of warm temperatures. Now we got to be careful with that because they went way too cool today, which can throw off all the instability and it can throw off the thunderstorm development.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's something that you need to think of too. So this is exactly why we're not completely dropping the severe weather risk. We're not just completely removing it. The potential is there, but we're not going super crazy either, where we're going alert day, everything is going to be chaos. If we were in Northeast Arkansas, we would. But here's a look at the future track model, the 3-kilometer graph. This updates every hour. It's got a little bit of isolated activity. It will be quiet throughout the night and into the morning. Look at the winds, though. My goodness, look at those winds. They are really starting to crank up to 30 miles an hour. So some really, really strong winds. Show you what's happening on the radar right now. Josh says there's some lightning moving in. Heard one rumble shake the UATV studio. Perfect on time during weather. All right. That is always awesome. Just like when you're trying to get the lightning bolt on the camera.
Yeah.
which by the way, we're still waiting for. Let's see if we can get one. Lightning earlier was pretty awesome. Maybe a little less lightning now. Cody, yes. As a matter of fact, I was just about to do that. I was going to show the tornadic parameters. And then we're going to look at the Texas Tech WRF, which, by the way, is not showing a whole lot of storm activity for us.
No, not much.
No. And do you believe it?
I mean, now that I've seen the latest HRR model,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh. All right. Let's look at this here and we'll check this out. Ready? And I'm going to have to go here pretty soon because I'll have to do my or my Fox News, Fox 24 News at 9. But here's the tornadic parameters, Cody. This is for you and for everybody else that's interested. So obviously nothing happening right now. Everything is super quiet. But watch what happens overnight. That southerly wind starts kicking in, the moisture will increase, the dew points will increase, and there's definitely some tornadic parameters. But remember, it could be as high as it wants. If there's no storms, you're not going to see tornado parameters. I mean, you'll see the potential for them, but you won't have those realized. And at this point, in my opinion, 6 a.m., I don't think there's going to be storms yet.
No, not yet.
We're capped. You can look at the models and we're capped. So let's move along. Now you can see that tornado parameter moving in. 10, 11, noon. Look at how it drops off. The reason it drops off, you know why?
Veering winds.
Yeah, the veering winds. The low-level shear does not become favorable.
But there is a small window where there could be.
There is.
You know.
There is a small window. There absolutely is. All right, so now let's see what happens. Watch what happens as the low-level jet kicks in. Southerly winds increase. Moisture's increasing. Watch the colors brighten up here. Right at about 3, 4 o'clock in northeast Arkansas. Yeah, look at that. The Jonesboro, Memphis area. I'll tell you what, anybody that's in Jonesboro, they're covered. Ryan Vaughn's got that. He's like a fly on stick paper with severe weather coverage. He does an amazing job, and they are definitely in absolute good hands. So you have absolutely nothing to worry about there. And then there's the storms moving out. Haley's saying, can we see the map that shows rotating storm path map? Look at these viewers.
I like
here.
that question.
Yeah, they are just awesome. Love you guys because you know a lot about weather and a lot about severe weather. So that's what I was going to get to next. In order to do that, here's what we've got to do. We got to share our screen. And Haley, we're going to do that right now. So let's check out the Texas Tech WRF model. And this is the most current run. Just make sure that it's updated. And let's take this. There's the storms tonight. I'll tell you, this model does really good. This handled this beautifully. Look at that.
Yeah.
Then those move out. Then it's quiet. I don't have the helicity tracks on there yet, but I will. Now, there's the storm development to the southwest, but look at what happens. It's capped. And I truly do believe that because of that warm southwesterly flow that's going to cap it. Now, look at this. Storms pop up right about there, but look, they're almost in our eastern weather coverage area. 16Z, that's 11, and that's noon right there. So by noon, 1, 2 o'clock, they're east of us. Now, of course, Scott County.
Still, what else is new?
Scott County, and I'm sure that's got a helicity track. So let's look at the helicity tracks. Yeah, they don't ramp up until they get east of us. So that's brand new. Well, there's that one in Scott County and Yell County, which, by the way, our Mount Magazine WeatherBug camera will be able to nail that perfectly. Let's see if we can. Let's see here real quick. So yeah, there's a look at that, and then we'll move it along. And yeah, the storms are out of here. So there's your Texas Tech WRF model. We'll look at one more. These are the updraft helicity, maximum updraft helicity, and just nothing over us. I just, with the veering winds, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Look at the tornado parameter increase overnight, but then there's no storms, and then it just drops off really dramatically.
Yeah, about 7 a.m.
Yeah, well,
Or noon.
it's a little past
Noon.
that. Yeah. Here's 9. 10, 11, noon. Right about
Yeah.
noon, it drops off. So there is that window. There is that little bit of a window. We're going to have to watch that. Let's look at another one here. This is let's do Weather Bell. And we'll zoom in and we'll look at the HRRR model. And yeah, we're going to sign in. I wonder why that's still asking to sign in. Oh, I got to get ready for my show. Let's look at severe weather. Let's look at updraft helicity tracks. Let's zoom in on Arkansas. And here we go. Just nothing. A lot in, look at that, a lot in Missouri.
Yeah.
And that's on the leading edge of that energy. And then a lot in southern Arkansas. That's it. That's it. That's just, it's not very favorable here. So Anna's gearing up, getting ready for Fox 24 News at 9. Let's stop sharing this real quick and we'll show you one more thing. This is the energy that's moving in. It's obviously a big system, but it is a little faster. Look at how it's kicked out. Look at this. I think this is one of the reasons why the storm potential is lessening for us. Look, it's already over the Four Corners region almost. You can definitely see the kicker system pushing this thing out. And as it does, that's what's going to bring the storms to the east of us. So there is a window of opportunity, but it's not a very big one. So, all right, guys, I'll tell you what, we'll do another update. You want to do another update after the 10?
Yeah, sure.
No, we'll do another update after the 10. We'll let you know what's happening, and we will catch you guys later. Watch the news, and we'll have more, and then we'll have more tonight. See you guys.